Given how volatile and downright crazy the market has become, there are very few occasions when buying a stock right off the new high list is at all justified. But sometimes the stock is so hot that you just gotta buy it wherever you can. It is so hot, you gotta buy it as soon as you can because it's not going lower anytime soon. Now, you won't find these often, but when you find them, you got to remember not to buy all at once. That's the discipline that keeps you from blowing your head off. If you want to buy 100 shares of stock and you think it's got so much mojo that you won't even get that pullback from the high, very rare again, I bless this. I bless you buying 25 shares. The worst that happens, it goes higher, and you don't get to buy more of that total 100 that you wanted. You just get the 25. Now, I've got one exception where it's okay to buy stock that's hitting a new high. If you see insiders buying the stock when it's at its 52-week high, then that's a clear sign that you went in. Man, is this a rarity? It's a rare thing to see happen. But in my experience, it's rare still that this method of picking stocks doesn't work out. See, I love it when I see insiders buying at the high. It's a great sign of their confidence in the business. And who knows the business better than the people running it, right? Normally, insider buying ranges from meaningless to a small but on its own insufficient reason to buy a stock, even though there'll be a lot of headlines saying that the insiders are buying. A lot of times you'll catch insiders buying their stock because they want to give the impression of confidence, to create an illusion that they're doing better than they really are. Trust me, they do this. See, insiders aren't stupid. They know if they're seen buying their own stocks, and the market will smile upon them. So they play the system. They play you. That's fair. But it means we got to ignore most insider buying because it could be all flim-flam. I love that word, flim-flam. That said, when you get truly colossal insider buying, even if it's not at the high, then you got to take a look. You got to look at this stock. It's a pretty powerful endorsement when the insiders, and there's plural, buy a whole lot of stock. It's really the volume of the insider buying that declares its sincerity, at the dollar amount in the volume. But we're only focusing on one sort of insider buying right now, buying at the high. Now, there is nothing more arrogant than when an insider backs up the truck for his own stock when it's sitting at 52-week high. I mean, think about it. You know what they're saying? They're saying, yeah, we rock. Our stock has been in fuego, and we're so darn confident that it'll keep going higher that we're going to buy some shares right now, hand over fist. We're not waiting for a pullback. No, we're buying at the high. Okay, arrogant, sure. But you know what? This is the most bankable hubris I have ever seen. Corporate insiders aren't fools, with some notable exceptions occupying the mad money wall of shame. And hey, if their stocks are on the 52-week high list, let's assume they probably know what they're doing. Not everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt in this business. And after the financial crisis and the market meltdown at the end of 2008, I know that a lot of people think that all CEOs, all execs are bunch of liars and fraudsters and crooks and mountebanks, especially those who got burned owning an AIG or Lehman Brothers. But look, as I tell you in Getting Back to Even, that's the wrong lesson to draw from this crash. So many people have it, but it's wrong. Look, healthy skepticism is good. It's one thing. A total unwillingness to believe anything positive, that is something else entirely. That's going to hurt you. If you're going to own stocks, you need to be willing to extend some measure of trust to the people who run the companies that you own shares of. Now, getting their stock to a 52-week high and then buying a bunch of shares, that's a pretty darn good reason to give a CEO the benefit of the doubt. These guys are not going to buy at the high unless they have some unshakable conviction about their companies. Why? Because buying at the high is typically reckless and lazy. Most investors are smart enough to wait for a pullback before they pull the trigger. Insider buying at the high tells me that these guys don't really think there'll be a pullback. And boy, there's nothing more bullish than that. And it does happen, okay? Here's the bottom line. One more method to Cramer's madness. When you see insider buying in a stock that's at its 52-week high, I think you went in. You might as well be buying too.